right, welcome back to the Talking Shop podcast. This is episode 3. I'm Nick.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Taryn.
So, Ryan, Taryn, how have you been?
Yo.
Good. Stressing?
Yeah.
It's busy. It is
Good.
busy.
And
Busy time of
very
year.
busy.
Yeah, well, a lot has happened in the past 2 weeks since we last met, especially in the running world. We had trail races like Broken Arrow, Western States, and then we had Faith's attempt at breaking the 4-minute mile. Yeah, so did you all get a chance to watch these races and events?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, so what were your takeaways? Like, do you remember anything that stood out to you from any of these events?
Oh, yeah. Broken Arrow. I don't know. The biggest thing I was happy about was seeing Eli Hemming make the national team.
He's so good. I don't know if he's taking it, though. He seems
What?
like he's on the fence.
Why?
He wants to do CCC, I think, this year is his main focus. He won OCC last year. I think everything's building up to CCC, and the Worlds is like 3 weeks after the UTMB races, 3 or 4 weeks, which is kind of
close.
Yeah, when you are burying yourself that bad in those races, it's a really short recovery. And so I think there will be people that will do the double, but some people feel a little bit selfish where there's other people that might, train specifically for the World's event that they want to give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's made a comment on it yet. He's seen in the post-race interview, he seemed very
In between.
on the fence. Yeah.
He's one of my favorites
He's so good,
to
though.
watch. Yeah, he's so fast. But, I don't have a ton to say about Broken Arrow. Everyone was super fast and, the ascent was crazy. But my focus was Western States.
Mm-hmm.
Just had the live stream on, all day. And I was invested with my free trail fantasy
That's
picks,
right.
which all 3 of us did.
Yeah.
And I will never do again.
How'd we do?
Yeah.
Well-
Let's run through each of our places.
I was 2,175th out of 3,279 players.
All I'll say is
Not-
you could have been worse.
Yeah, not last.
What were you, Nick?
I had to pull up, but I'm 730 something in that area. So
730.
734 maybe around there.
That's not bad. That's
Oh,
pretty
why?
good.
What'd you get, Ryan?
Yeah,
I don't know,
Ryan.
just 104.
Wait, you were 104th place?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was proud of that one.
This was hard, but I will say the ascent is why I knew Killian would get third. That was my only star pick.
Oh wait,
'cause
are we talking about Broken Arrow or are we talking about Western States?
Broken
Broken
Arrow?
Oh, I got 15th.
In Broken. No, we were talking about Western
yeah,
States.
the places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
we were
talking
Western
about
States.
Killian's
Oh.
performance in
She-
the ascent is how I picked
She
what
used the
place he was gonna
strategy
be.
of
Oh, I
Broken
see, I
Arrow
see.
performance and related it to her pick for Western
Got
States.
it.
Which is, I think, that's a good
And
call.
a video I saw of him. This is
Yeah,
why
I
I hate
watched that
this
video.
because I'm looking at people's mental. I'm like, okay, he's a dad. He's missing his kids. I just feel like he didn't have that gonna gut it out for.
He said he was sick. He said his
Yeah.
kids were sick the week before he flew, and he thought, I read his blog or his
Aw.
and he said that the travel really got to him,
Yeah.
and then when he got here, the air is so much drier than Norway too, and he said he just didn't feel well,
Yeah.
and so he decided to kind of reserve some energy for Western States and not go all out. But Christian Allen, oh my gosh, that guy. I think he's someone to look out for.
He's the dude with the mullet, right?
Yeah. He's a dad of 3, about to be 4.
Oh my gosh. There's a lot of dads out there.
Yeah.
So many dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dad strength.
It's inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I guess we could talk about in the order of events what was next. I guess the 4-mile attempt.
Yeah. Dude, talk about faith.
Well, yeah. I mean, I watched it live. Did you watch it live, or anyone
No.
watch it after?
Yes,
the fact?
I watched it live.
You did?
Like,
It was so
I was
short.
in a meeting and then I got out of it from work and it was counting down 15 seconds. I was like, oh, I can watch it. So I quickly jumped into the YouTube live stream.
It was a very big buildup for 4
So
minutes
quick.
of running, and
I
I do.
just knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel like.
Not anything on her,
No.
but you can't have an event that big and not have it impact you. You can't.
Oh,
And I was texting him because I just put her on a dirt road somewhere with a guy at the end of the road with a stopwatch and she'll do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
but like that's such a mental toll.
I mean, you're in a stadium.
Yeah, and the travel and
Yeah.
the pressure and all the special gear and the pacers.
So
and
they're
just,
doing
like,
they're doing the pre track event today in Oregon. Like there's a big race going on, and
Yeah.
they do the Bowerman's Mile, and they should do one for the women. And I was reading an article saying like put her in that and bring in some of like the best women runners like in this event, and let them like push each other. And the article I was reading today was like she probably could have done like a 4:05 in like a real environment that wasn't, because she, in like if you think about this 4 mile attempt, of sub 4 minute attempt, she probably went out way harder in the first lap than she normally ever would, right? Because she had to hit certain splits, and so she probably just really burned way too many matches early, and
it's just, I don't know.
it's a lot of pressure.
It's so much pressure, but it also impacts your performance. Like that just, it's your whole mind and body. Like she wasn't going to be able to give her like biggest, hardest effort ever, even though it was like crazy good and hard, but like she's got it in her. Just, you can't have all that travel and people and like cameras and media and everything on you and think your body's going to just be like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild how many pacers she had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had like 15 people like in a bubble around her. Like, and some of the best Grant Fisher, like there were some of the best runners that were in that event, but
To draft.
Do you think that there like would have been more pressure? Like she was competing against herself essentially, versus kind of like you were saying, if you put her in an event like that way, which one do you think has more pressure? Like
this one, I think, 'cause it's all
It's
eyes on
different
her.
pressure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not competitive pressure. It's you're trying to reach a goal pressure. And that's like,
So you know how when I was watching it, they had this like light ring around the track that like it had these green lights to show like where she needed to be as she's running. I wonder if something like that, almost like the technology aspect, also like messed her up.
They do that in races as well. They have the
I'm just-
lights in
I'm
real
just-
like races.
I'm newer to watching all these like track.
I just think you're never gonna get it on a planned event like that.
Me
Like
too.
with like, I think you gotta just have the right day.
Yeah.
And you would like, I think she could be out training and just know it. Like, oh, I could do it this day.
Yeah.
And just like you have to just because it's such a hard, impossible thing.
I feel-
that, like,
yeah.
It can't be. I don't know. It's just crazy.
I agree, and I think like all the pressure, all the buildup probably took away from all the little like 1% improvements that they gave her,
Yeah.
like the gear, the shoes, the pacing,
Yeah.
like the stadium. But that all that pressure, it takes its toll. So it probably like balance. It all equals out, right?
It
like,
does. Yeah. I
she
mean,
still ran the fastest time ever in a mile for a
Totally,
woman, which is
totally.
awesome. But
It's so freaking fast.
so fast.
I
but
don't
it's
understand
like-
it.
I don't know. I think it's possible. I just think you can't be in that kind of scenario.
Different circumstances
Yeah.
are needed.
I think, and I will say, like, if anyone is interested and didn't get a chance to see the documentary that they are making around this, I think last I looked, there was 2 episodes out, which was the pre. I only seen the first one, which is really good, but they did like basically on like who she is, where she comes from, and like
She's so cool, like the way she rallies her community, and like
Yeah.
just everyone wants to run.
Her and,
run
like,
with all those kids and
Elliot are like really good friends, and
Yeah.
they make food in their village, and it's awesome. But I'd recommend
pretty
watching
cool.
that, and I think they're gonna make a couple episodes post, which would be really interesting to
Oh,
see how
yeah.
she deals with
Yeah,
the
how-
aftermath and
totally.
like what's next for her. So
I feel
yeah.
like it's probably not one of those things that was so crushing to not hit. Like,
she seemed cool about it.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Because it's like it's never been done, so all you can do is keep trying
Yeah.
until. But
Yeah.
but I don't think it's like one of those massive heartbreakers. Like, it's such a crapshoot of what your body's gonna give you that day.
Right. And like she still came out with an accomplishment from the day.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you went into it and like she didn't break the fastest mile or whatever
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
I
female.
do think like that it is good to see her, just the way she carried herself after, and she seemed like genuinely seemed not super down in the dumps. Like she seemed happy. She seemed like she left it all out there. Like she gave everything that she could have. She seemed satisfied with the performance and effort she gave, which is good to see, I think.
Do you think like you know how you're talking about this, I think this will be the last point on this topic, but the pressure of like the event and like that circumstance she was in, do you think if she were to do it again, do you think it'd be less pressure because she's gone, like let's say next year she's like, I'm going for it again, and
Not
they
if
replicate it?
I think if it's presented in the same way, it'll be the same type of pressure, because then
Interesting.
also you have now this new time that you've never done before that you have to try to get again
Yeah.
or beat.
That's true.
And I just don't think that the circus version is what's gonna do it. Like, I just don't.
I feel like
I agree.
Yeah.
It's gonna come natural.
It's definitely a good point. I feel like that circus aspect, like it can work, but it's for a very like small percentage of people where they come
and it
through
depends on
it.
the goal. Like, I mean, this is something that's never been done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the chances of it happening on a stage like that are just so minimal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy.
I know.
What about Western states? Moving on to
Western states.
probably a thing that we were all
It's
very
like the
interested in.
Screaming in at the
most
shop.
continuous YouTube I've ever watched.
That's I like, usually I'm not this bad, but I had it on my phone while I'm getting ready for work, then I have it in the car on my phone, then I turned it on here, I had it on a screen in the back.
Nice.
I just
Had it-
love
I fully
because
support that.
I feel like we've rubbed off on you a
Yeah.
little bit.
Well, cuz that's what I don't like the fantasy, cuz I'm so emotionally invested.
Yeah,
Cuz
yeah.
like I had my number 10 pick or whatever, I was like, I'm just really pulling for this person. I think they might have a good day. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, totally, probably no chance. But I'm like, you just never know.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. And like, just like Killian was breaking my heart because I'm like, that whole like eliteness, like
Yeah.
Killian and Courtney, I just like, that's so crazy to me. Just the pressure. And I don't like you. It's just like I don't even know. Like, I would just love to ask them, like, do you feel like you're allowed to have a bad day?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're so overanalyzed
Yeah.
up until race day. You're overanalyzed during the race.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, everyone's breaking down your performance.
And it tells you something about like who he is. I was thinking about this a lot. Like, he didn't have to come back to this. Like, this is
Yeah.
not his type of race.
Well, I
right?
read he hates it.
Yeah, it's like, but they asked him like why come back, and he's just like, the competition, the challenge, like,
Oh yeah.
and so it just shows you that he is okay with not podiuming or not having a great day. He's okay with that, but like, it just shows you how much he wants that the competition, the fight, right?
Yeah.
And I totally respect that.
I respect his approach so much because I think like this year especially, you're in a field where like a lot of people were kind of calling their shots, and like there's you know, it's like kind of it creates some fun in the sport, the arrogance. I think some people will look at it as like, whoa, they're like too arrogant, but I feel like Killian, like, he in his series just kind of gave the science behind what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He showed the training. He admitted, like, you know, it's not a course that suits me the best.
Oh my
but I'm
gosh,
still
him
gonna,
coming down the paved road onto the track, I forget what road that is, with his
Yeah.
massive quads. I was like, I've never seen someone look so out of place. He looked so weird
was
on the
booking it.
road.
He looked the
But just
best.
these massive mountain quads trying to come down this paved road.
I feel like when you saw him cross the finish line, though, he looked the most refreshed out
yeah,
of all of them.
totally. He was just cruising in. That's what I mean. Like, he didn't have that.
He's a
like,
mountain dude.
yeah.
Like, he does the craziest technical.
But you know, when you're new in a sport and you're a man that's like 20 years old and you like have a chance, you are going to like push your body different than somebody who's already won multiple things.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
want it for the first time, you
Yep.
know? And that's like, there were a lot of guys doing that.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
year.
And some it worked out, and some, like Caleb, it worked out. Chris Myers, it worked out.
Yep.
Some people,
I mean,
blew
definitely
up a little
like
bit.
Caleb Olson, the winner, he was wrecked at the end.
his
And
blog is so good.
yeah, he's been wrecked. He was wrecked days afterwards. Like,
That's good though, because then you know you pushed your body as much
Yeah,
as you
He
can.
but
talked
he-
about like wanting to walk and like quit. Like he
Yeah.
talked about like
Yep.
basically like having his pacer say like you have to keep going. And
Yeah.
he just wanted to stop, right? Like he wanted to just
And that's the difference. Like, somebody who hasn't had the meal yet is gonna
Yeah.
go harder than somebody that
Yeah.
has.
Right.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I was reading or listening, and he told his wife, like, you can't let me do this again next year. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm signing up for, I think it's like Lavaretto, which happened the same day.
I'm so
instead.
sad because I went there last year, and like this year Courtney was at it. I'm like,
Yeah.
God dang it.
Wait, you were
I
at
picked
Lavaredo last year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, where is
sick.
that?
Italy.
What the heck?
I didn't know that.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go back, but I wasn't in shape because I was doing all this store crap. But I was like, who cares? If I DNF, I'll be in Italy and
I want to
Yeah.
go.
So
I want
that's
to do
what
one
we
of those
did.
races.
That is epic.
Yeah.
What so what stood out like to you all, whether gear wise or story wise? Like, I guess like what were the highlights for you, Washington State's?
I think for me, I'll talk about people wise. Like, what I got really stoked on was seeing some of the newcomers or like underdogs do really well. So,
Hans and like Seth.
yes, Seth Ruling, seeing him get 6th place, a Boulder boy, like. I know I probably speak for both of us. Like, we listen to that podcast and follow along. So like we've seen when he got his Western States golden ticket at Black Canyon to like the training he's put in. Like, I just feel like he did so good.
I picked him to win. I didn't know who he was.
That's
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
honestly,
I was like, this guy seems like he wants it.
You probably
Just,
would've
like,
won
trying to look
fantasy
at
if
their
you got
you
history.
know what?
that.
There was many moments I think during the day where I was like, I felt like he was
got up
leading.
there for a
yeah,
while,
and
yeah.
he
He was
could. He had a
leading.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He finished really well. It was his first 100-miler.
Yeah.
That's the longest he's ever run in his
Yeah,
life.
because that can go either way.
Yeah.
That's why he was like, I thought he could be a dark horse.
Yeah.
Like, and same with Hans Troyer, our favorite, the kid,
I
the bread
know.
kid.
I figured I didn't think he had a chance to go top 5, but I think he could do top 10.
I think coming
Yeah.
back next year. I think again, first 100-miler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like,
he's just getting experience.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
ran it in ultra Vanish Carbon 2s road shoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone threw a loaf of bread at him at
Yes.
the finish line, which is so good.
So good.
That's
Yeah,
so
he did
good.
super well. And then I'm trying to think of who else was in the top 10 that I was really impressed with.
I mean, it goes Caleb. Let's see if I can do this for at least men. Women
Yeah.
will be a little bit harder for me, but Caleb, Chris Myers, which
Killian.
with the snorkel was all-time move. It was so funny. The Killian,
Jeff.
Jeff, Dan Jones,
Yep.
Seth.
7.
I don't know, 7.
Uh,
Can you do women?
Abby.
She was not on my radar, and that makes me really sad.
I had her in
I
my
love
top
it that
10,
she won it because
but-
she got
I
in
know.
last minute from like a wait list because
Yeah.
someone was pregnant and had to pull
Yeah.
out, and so she was trying to get golden tickets and she kept getting 4th, so she like was just missing getting the ticket, and then she got in, and like I love to see her just like
Don't you
dominate.
see? Did you kind of feel like in Western states, like women race it differently than men?
Yeah.
I think it's.
In what way?
It's more. I think it's more calculated on the women's side. I don't think it's like. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like just like how growing up, boys are just more like wild and
Reckless.
reckless. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's maybe the word for it. Like I feel like men are more reckless in it, even though they're not. But it looks more reckless than the women who are just like picking each other off
Yeah.
and like you
Yeah.
know.
I would love to see like a time comparison of how long the men's pack stuck together
Yeah.
versus the women's pack. Like, at what point in the day did like the men's pack finally start to break off?
It took a
versus when-
while.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying.
went a
and
long
I think
time.
that
Yeah.
plays into what you're saying is like you get the like herd mentality
Mm-hmm.
almost of when you have that pack and like you're just gonna keep pushing along with
Yeah.
all those other people.
And I think some of the dudes push too hard to their detriment.
Oh,
you
For
know?
sure.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time.
I didn't realize how much puke happens in these races. I saw so much like Instagram photos of.
What's the what was it? What was it?
Oh yeah, the one who DNF, but she was winning for like a long time.
I know I had her on my list too, but there's a video of her just running and puking.
Yeah.
violently.
Same with Marion Hogan. Just like
Yeah.
I saw one yesterday where she's like, "I'm gonna puke," and then she's like with her crew at a station, just
Oh, maybe
and
it
then
was
keeps
her.
going.
Maybe it was
like
her,
nothing.
yeah.
It's well, and even hearing like all the podcasts and like interviews post Western States, hearing about how many people puked, I'm just like, dang, I didn't know
I think that's
people
normal
puke that
in a
much.
summer race. Like even at Cascade last year, if you were at Tacoma Pass, it was just puke city.
Oh,
It's just the heat, and that's what I'm saying. Like just keep getting stuff in for your 100K.
Well, it's going to tie well into our review with high carb later.
Yeah.
It could be one of the factors for the puking. But
man.
I guess I know we've been this like kind of a long intro, a little bit of a different one today, but just wrapping things
gabbing.
up. Yeah, I think like, what we wanted to talk about today is mental health and how it, plays into our running journeys.
Yeah, like you can see it in the elite side. Easily,
Yeah.
but like people are dealing with different things. Every
Yeah, like
day.
it's very visible from the elite side, but
Mm-hmm.
I think to the average runner, we all have day
all have it,
jobs.
yeah.
We all have I mean, some have families, other stuff going on that it's very applicable to the average runner.
Mm-hmm.
That I think doesn't get seen. We just focus on like, oh, there's pressure, and like this pro runner talked about like they used to be addicted to painkillers or
Yeah.
like a multitude of different things. But
What's that whole mental toughness that's been ingrained in running forever? That's like, I mean, yes, that's true. Like you're gonna get through 100 because mind over matter. Like your brain is what's gonna get you through. But it's also damaging in
Yeah.
a way. Just like push through it, and I don't know.
yeah,
I just like I will say about Western states. I saw a video. I know you're gonna kill me for this, but Walmsley was going off about how elite runners shouldn't have pacers.
oh yeah,
And it just struck a nerve in me because then the whole chat is just people just like, no pacers. No, but nobody needs pacers. This is stupid. This is stupid. But what drives me nuts is that, for one, like you take a kid like Hans who's never been
Yeah.
and you've been training with your friends and stuff, and you want to share that experience with them, that's one thing. But then also like this whole other thing, people are dealing with eating disorders, with mental illness, like, or mental health problems and stuff. Like, let them have a freaking pacer if they want one. Like, it's the same thing as like headphones or no headphones. I hate when there's arguments in running for literally no reason. Like, do what you want.
Oh, I asked you a question. So I don't know if I have an opinion on that one, like,
Yeah.
because I've never had a pacer, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's fun.
I think, I think just to be clear with his statement is he's saying elites shouldn't have pacers.
But why?
I think because his
competition wise,
yeah, I think he was thinking like the rationale for the reason why there are pacers for elites is for a safety reason because of like getting lost or but I think like he's basically saying, and this is what he did say in the interview, was like they have aid stations every few miles.
But you can't say that and then have a 20-person crew who's measuring all of your fluids and like
True.
getting you in and out of aid stations in 10 seconds. Like you just can't say, well, but you can't have a pacer, but you can have like a pit crew that's insane. Like, because if you're talking about fairness or whatever, not everybody's coming in with a crew like that. And it's just, I don't know. But it's just the whole thing is like where you're saying everyday people are struggling with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I like running is a very personal journey for me, and I love running alone. But like when you're out on a 100-miler and you haven't really been talking to anybody for 12, 13 hours, like I love having a pacer. Like I'm so excited to run with Sarah.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's because it's fun. Like it's just, it's not like, I mean, she's really just there just to hang out. It's like a,
shout
and
out
I'm not an
Sarah.
elite runner, so I get what you're saying to an extent, but I also just hate those polarizing things. Like I want running to just be, do whatever the heck you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
That's
like,
fair.
It's just,
I would want a
I hate
pacer.
chat.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I would want one.
I think the last thing
You would have so much fun with one. Because you love running with everybody, and it's like it just changes
would-
the dynamic of the ultra.
100% want one too. I think I can see both sides. I can see the elite only conversation around
But then
the
who's
pace.
elite? Because look at who's coming, who pops into these top 10s that nobody's expecting.
I don't know how
I think they do have
they
elite bibs. Like you
Sure, but
register as an
you
elite.
still can't say there's not going to be outliers.
Yeah.
that, okay, now they have a pacer, but now they're 5th place.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
like,
It does.
then-
It
I don't know how you
introduces
would-
a messy.
yeah, so it's like, leave it alone.
Yeah.
But like, I guess my whole thing is just, I just hate these chat rooms, and like the whole thing that happened to David Roche when he dropped out, and the chat is just like so mean, and just like, I just,
The internet.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
I don't know. I'm so worked up about it because
No,
I
it
just
was
find it
sad.
so
It
ugly.
is.
Like, he's such a positive person, and he's so encouraging, and then just you get trolls, like relentless trolls, one after the other.
Yeah.
But it's really sad because like you can be that type of person that's very vocal with your positivity, and people just don't like that.
I know.
And it sucks. And yeah, I actually did not see the chat, but I heard like the fallout from it, just hearing about it. And I was like, dang, like I'm really glad I had it closed, because I read that kind of stuff and it just gets me so worked up. Just like, how can you
It's just
talk about
gross.
another person with such hate? Like, I don't understand.
That you don't know.
That you don't know.
Well,
And
for one thing, no one even had known at that point why he dropped out, because I guess he lost his vision and everything. No one even knew any of that.
Which
Yeah.
is a great segue into mental health, because he was actually having a panic attack
Yeah.
that was health related.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I think like we listened to his podcast after recapping, and the way that it was explained is that he thinks maybe something to do with like over sodium, like too much sodium at the beginning, maybe caused a little bit of a bonk. And then he started to like, he had a second where he lost his vision leaving an aid station, and that immediately triggered like anxiety, and he thought he was dying. Like, and he started thinking about his kid and like not being able to see his kid. And so he was like, this isn't worth it. I don't want to end up like, like,
And,
so,
like,
you know, he walked it in.
He was just so genuine about it, I thought too, because like he was like crying like on his podcast. Like, you can tell how much that guy cares about his kids, just because every time the kids were brought up, he would get emotional even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And like, I know Nick and I are both dads, so
Yeah.
I can relate.
He said he felt like also like shame, a lot of shame. Sorry, the microphone. He said he felt a lot of shame from this, because he did call a shot, right? He had a full video series, which I actually loved, like watching, working up to this race. And he, you know, he's very into the science of running high carb.
Sure.
And he just felt very embarrassed and shameful. And I think that was also a part of his like kind of, I don't know if I want to call it a breakdown, but he did kind of just.
Which sucks, because you should be able to call whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
You should be able to try whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember that personally when in 2017 when I was chasing all these stupid hundreds, and it was like 11 DNFs in a row, and I would be announcing them on Facebook and being like, and then I'd have to come back and do my shame post of why I dropped out this time. But
Yeah.
you just get to the point where you're like, who freaking cares? Like, I just want to go try this thing. Like, that's how I ended up in Italy last year. I'm like, I'm not in shape. I just want to go experience it. Yeah. You know, like, people need to chill out.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I'm just thinking about this now. This is something that I feel like I put a lot of like added pressure on myself. Like, I'm coming into this 100K, right? Like in a week, actually at a week from today, I'll be out and running in the woods, in 94-degree weather. But like, you know, I went into this saying like, I want to just finish, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's my first time running 100K,
Yeah.
but now I'm starting to think like I'm putting all this like added pressure on like my pacing and how much nutrition I have to take. And so like, I get it. I get this, like, I want to,
I'm so worried about you, because I'm so sad we're not crewing you. Because
No, I think
you are a
it's-
mental run. Like, you get in your head.
for
a
sure.
lot.
But it's not, I guess it's like, it's interesting. Like, would you consider this like an anxiety or I don't know if you want, how you would prescribe this or diagnose this, but it's like, it's so much like,
Welcome to our therapy.
yeah. I do feel like I'm putting like a ton of extra, start crying. I do feel like I'm putting like a bunch of like extra pressure on myself that, okay, like why?
I
Like,
think
at the end
you
of the
don't
day.
allow yourself to experience things naturally. Like, you read everything. Like, I've never met anybody that knows as much as you. You know what
I thought I
everybody is
knew a lot.
eating and drinking. You know, like you make me nervous because you feel like you have to follow what has worked for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, your 100K is going to be such an experiment, and you're going to have so many ups and downs, and
So
like
true.
stuff is going to work and then not work.
Yeah.
I
And then
think-
you'll find something that works. I think
you need to go into it being okay with, hey, I'm just pulling out the test tubes and starting to make my concoction, it might not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
This
and
isn't your
just,
last 100K. It's
no,
your first.
dude, to sign up and pay the money to do that is like the first step. It's like what Taryn's talking about of like not ready to run a race in Italy, but don't
But you're
think about
actually
it too
trained.
much.
Like you're trained. I
Yeah.
think that makes it almost harder knowing, like you are capable of doing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, and the fear of, well, what's going to be the thing that could take me out?
Yeah.
And it's like
Heat.
and nutrition are just going to work against you, but you can get through
Yeah.
all of those things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just you're going to feel a level of uncomfortableness you've never felt.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a balance, I think, right, of like being prepared, but like having wiggle room, because like I definitely can see how much pressure you're putting on yourself from the outside with
Yeah.
it.
And to have to go down there alone, I just hate
Nah, that's
it.
okay.
I would just, I think
I just
you,
don't want to get up so early.
it'll be fun.
It will be.
And I think
I am looking for. There is also like, I think they say like anxiety and excitement
Yeah.
are very like related. They go hand in hand, and so I think like there is a lot of excitement for this race as well, as much as there are nerves and anxiousness behind it.
That's a good sign. You're not dreading it. You're
No,
excited
I'm not
for
dreading it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. How much do I owe you guys for this therapy session?
we'll bill it to your insurance.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I think,
it's gonna be hard,
yeah.
but like you can do it. You really can do it.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that's really important, knowing that I can do. Like, I've had a couple of runs recently, long runs, where prior to them, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to finish this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so wrecked after 50Ks. Like, the thought of having to go another mile is like, ugh.
Oh, but that's that mental thing. Like if
Yeah.
you were planning to do a 5 mile and someone said you have to do 10, you always feel trash like the 2 miles before the end.
True.
Yep.
True.
So like if you know in
knowing
your
I'm
head,
doing 61, 60, yeah, like knowing
you're
that.
like this is all I'm doing today is I'm just running all day
Like
today.
Yeah.
you
That's
just
it.
can't play the comparison game on the day of.
Yep.
You just have to go into it being like, it's Nick's day.
Yeah.
Like whatever Nick is gonna do, that's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. Like
For sure.
who cares what other people have done or are currently doing? Because I know
gonna
you're a
be
fast
so-
guy. You like
I
to go
know.
fast.
I know.
I think your biggest thing is going to be to go slow.
Yeah, it will be. There's like a really steep, I think for the first 5 miles, it's just like quad burner going downhill. So I
No,
got to really make
just-
sure
Well,
I
and you
take
have
it easy.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no think about like a car engine, like you wouldn't want to keep it revved at the highest all day. Like it can't
True.
sustain it. Just like your body, like that your heart rate's got to like just chill out.
Yeah.
You got all
Keep it
day to
moderate.
be
Yeah.
out there.
Thanks, guys.
And just just know, like, I don't know, whenever I have a race and people are like, oh man, like you're gonna be out there a long time, I'm like, it's like dedicated time where I just get to play outside all
Yeah.
day. Like
I love it. I'm like, I don't have to answer an email.
yeah,
I don't care about anything.
my
Nobody
wife
can
is
call me.
changing
Like,
diapers
Yeah.
and I'm out here.
exactly.
Well,
it's your vacation.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, like, we'll shift away from me, and you have a race coming up in 2 weeks ish.
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
100 miles.
Yep.
What's going on?
100.
0-0. Training's gone down the tubes, but it's like
But it seems like you're
I feel like
all
good.
I can do is show up. Like
Yeah.
I have had so much stress,
yeah.
this month, and like I have depression, I have ADHD, like I have all the problems, but like I just got to a point where I was pushing too much and asking too much of my body, and now there's like nothing in the tank, you know, and so it's like, okay, can I recoup that before
Yeah.
in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So
Like
it's not the spot I wanted to be in, but like life happens.
when you're talking about this, is it physical exertion?
It's both. And just like, I mean, I have ARFID, the eating disorder, like super restrictive. And so like have nutritional deficiencies and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's just like, there's no reserves,
Yeah.
And as much like I went and did that run with Sarah a couple weeks ago, and we were out in the Tiana Way, and it was just like all day. And like the only thing getting me through that was that I just wanted to be outside and explore with her.
Yeah.
But like, nothing in the tank, and she saw that at the end. I was like, I could barely get the 2 miles back to the car.
I
It's
can't
just-
even imagine because like getting nutrition just outside of running. Like
Yeah.
nutrition during a run is a game in its own, but then
Yeah.
having that base of what you intake, like for breakfast and like the normal things,
It's
like
part
if
of recovery.
yeah, and I feel like
Yeah.
if you
Eating's
if it's
super important. Like,
if it's, you know, you have some aspect that's you can't get that, like
Yeah.
like myself, like that has to be really difficult.
yeah.
I know.
So do you have like a plan for how to approach this? Like knowing that you kind of,
No, it's more just like there's no saying. Like I've been doing the work since January, but not enough work because I came in 2 years like without training. You know,
Yeah.
I came from cancer and then I came from opening the store, and it was like I was starting from scratch. So I mean, I feel like I've got a solid base, and the rest is just going to be like muscle memory and just how much do I want it that day.
yeah.
Because I don't know what my body's going to give me. If it gives me what it's given me the last 2 weeks, I'm in trouble. But like, I don't know in 2 weeks.
I will say, like, yes, you've been, the last like couple weeks have been really, there's been a lot going on and your training hasn't been where you'd want it. But was just talking to Ryan and I was like, dang, like Taryn has a ton of vert. Like I was looking at your like yearly stats and I was comparing and I was like, you have more vert than like all of us. And I have like
combined.
over, yeah,
Yeah.
I have over like, you know, I thought like you have, like you said, you have a base
Yeah.
that you can rely on. And
Yes.
so I think, yeah, you know,
If I had like a year before this and then coming into this, I would feel a little bit less concerned. But like knowing I'm only coming in from like January,
yeah,
it's harder. But who knows? Like it's any given day. You never.
you might have a day.
I don't know. We'll have to talk about hundreds in another episode because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a wild.
Yeah. We haven't done them, so I'd look forward to that episode.
Sign you up.
You're ready. First 50K last month.
I guess if you are okay talking about it, like, what is it called? ARFID?
Yeah, it's just an acronym. It's
What-
it's a
like how
avoidant
long-
restrictive my whole life.
So since you were a kid?
Yeah. So it shows up as picky eating, and then it's rarely diagnosed in adults because it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I bash it because for when I hate, it's very shameful feeling
Sure.
eating disorder because number one, it's a first world problem. I have access to food.
Yeah.
But
Is it taste? Is that like what it
it's
comes
texture,
down to?
so it's just like a gag reflex. So like I can't try things.
Yeah.
I've done exposure therapy where, you know, I take a bite of one thing and then I have a migraine the rest of the night because it's so stressful.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know. It's
Lots of
whole
like
thing.
finding just what works for you, though.
Yeah.
And then sticking to that.
well, you just have safe foods
Yeah.
until they're not safe anymore. But it's
Oh, does
like,
that happen? Do eventually do you kind of get sick of
They
the
can
same
change
stuff?
in and out. Good God.
because my list has gotten smaller and smaller. But it's like, that's the other thing about pacers and crew and stuff. Like I can't eat at aid stations. There's nothing really I ever consume. I might grab a Coke or something, but like I have crew because I have to eat whatever food. And
Yeah.
same with people that have, you know, nutritional
Yeah.
things going on. So, yeah, I don't know, but it plays a huge factor into energy levels and ability
Yeah.
to recover. And it's like, if I could eat a balanced diet, like what am I capable of, you know, like
Yeah.
who knows? So,
Yeah.
but that sucks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you see a lot of eating disorders in the running world.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I think so too. I was listening to Seth Ruling, who we were talking about earlier, North Face athlete, sixth place at Western States. He was talking about having an eating disorder earlier on in his career because he was like a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
And like saw some other people that like weighed less and could run faster, and then
Oh, yeah.
it was like comparison. Well, if I weigh less, then I could run faster.
Yeah.
And like, man, I don't think I struggle with it a lot, but I definitely will look at other people. Like I'm definitely a bigger, heavier guy, and I'll look at people and be like, dang, like, you know, there's like it sounds stupid, but it seems like there's a picturesque like
Yeah.
ultra runner's body, and you look at those people being like, I feel like it would be way easier to run further if I like looked like that person.
Well, even like in high school, I used to think I was so just obese compared to the other girls because I just had giant quads that could climb anything.
Heck
But
yeah.
it wasn't like the normal high school body,
Yeah.
you know. And I like look back at those pictures and I'm like, God dang it, nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it's so hard not to compare in running because like how do you get better? Like what is working for that person? What's
Right.
working? Is it like if I lost 10 more pounds because I could have run faster?
I really
Yeah.
do, and I think we talked about like maybe this is a whole episode on its own, but like they say like comparison is the thief of joy, right? And
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of that as well. You mentioned the Strava, like I constantly comparing my training to other people that I follow, and I follow like my friends, but also a lot of pros. So like,
Yeah.
who am I kidding? Like,
I know.
and so yeah, I think really it takes like it's a skill. I feel like to not, at least for me personally, not to compare myself to others. Like I think it's actually like hard not to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's important to kind of stay within yourself and
Yeah. You also mentioned, Taryn, the ADHD. I'm curious to hear about this one because I am blessed as well
I know.
with the ADHD.
I'm actually curious how it affects your running. So one of the main reasons that I would drop out of hundreds was boredom. And so, you know,
Interesting.
I'm just curious is like, was that part of the ADHD? You know, just, I would just lose total interest.
Could
in it.
be, for
Yeah.
sure.
So I'm kind of curious, like,
Yeah.
let me see if I stay more
When,
focused.
again, like ADHD, were you diagnosed when you were younger or later
No,
in
like
life?
4 months ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Yeah.
I was maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so we're both adult diagnosed
Yeah.
ADHD. Like looking back, I've asked my parents and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, like we could see it." And like,
Oh,
there
yeah.
were times where they were worried about me, like with learning and like development and stuff.
Yeah.
But then like when I had kids, it was just like something ain't right.
Right.
Like just I think, and what I think is because when you have children, you become a lot more still in life.
Yeah.
And I was always I'm going to go out surf all day. I'm going to go out hike and backpack
Yeah.
all weekend long, like constant stimulation. And then to
That's
have children, you're around the house a lot. You're sitting down, feeding, and that's when I think mine like exploded.
Yeah.
And then like it's had communication issues when you live with someone else, and
I
like
know. Mine exploded because of this.
oh yeah,
Because I was highly functioning. I mean, everything I've done was impulsive. I mean, it took me 10 years to get my bachelor's degree because I changed my college and degree 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
I opened this store on a whim. You know, like some of the coolest things in my life were thanks to ADHD and being
Yeah.
impulsive. And like just always being able to pick things up easily. And,
Yep.
But like it comes to a point where, I mean, I think running helped.
yeah,
Like growing up running, I think probably was what kept it
yeah.
at bay a little bit. But
I feel like
yeah.
ADHD, you're like moderately good at everything.
I know. It's so true.
It's
though.
like a
Like,
superpower.
you can pick
You
up
just
any instrument. You can
Yeah.
learn it. It's funny.
but then like to dedicate with just one activity, which that I would say is kind of a worry about myself, is my hyperfixations of I've always jumped from like sport to
Yeah.
sport, hobby to hobby, thing to thing.
I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
100% in on one thing.
Buy
and it can-
buy
and it
all
can-
the gear.
And it can change though, right?
Yes.
Like,
By the time you get everything to do the thing, you're like, it's not exciting anymore.
I know.
Like I want to do the next thing. So that's why like
do I have ADHD? Do I have ADHD? Because I'm just like that.
I just, for me with
Yeah.
running, I've kept with it for quite a good stretch now that I just
Yeah.
want to I don't want it to just be the hyperfixation
It's
phase.
different. Like what I was texting you, it's different. You can't maintain the same level of training forever, and you're gonna like have dips where your
Yeah.
body's just like, can we just chill out and enjoy?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, but that doesn't mean you're not, you know, you're not a runner anymore, and you don't like running anymore. But you can't maintain like training 24/7.
That was a good text, by the way. I took that one to heart as well. I was like, I am a runner. You're right.
I know.
I
I
could
was like-
stop tomorrow and I'm still a runner.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, why do I feel like I want to cry?
Yeah.
Like when I was like, I feel like you understand.
yeah,
I
I
do.
appreciated it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't. I mean, I've had a couple years in my life that I wasn't running. I've been running since I was 5, but there were a couple years in there where I wasn't, and it's like, well, I'm still a runner. Like
Yeah.
that's all I know.
I
But I'm
find.
worried about the 3 of us maintaining this podcast, though. If we all have.
Is
the
this just a
same-
hyperfixation?
Yeah, it's like it's interesting for now.
Yeah, welcome
Yeah.
to the third and last.
Yeah.
No.
It's so
I
true.
feel like the one thing I pull like hope out of from like this sport is its versatility and like
Yeah.
all the different avenues that keep it interesting. You could try new. Why do you think I buy so many freaking shoes?
Yeah.
I love tweaking and like seeing what is a
Yeah.
little bit different and how it changes my runs, or a different piece of gear, or just like different types of trails. It's just so versatile, and I think that's what like it changes its stimulations in different ways constantly.
It does.
And for me, it's also like the health benefit of it. Like,
Yeah.
it calms me down. Like when I do my early morning runs, like it's almost like meditative for me. I put a podcast on, it's Nick's time, and I'm just listening, or I'm thinking. Like sometimes I don't listen to anything. I'm just like kind of just have, and my own within my own thoughts. And
Yeah.
but then after, like, you never feel bad after a run, right? You're never like, oh, I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's old saying.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
I think like it's, for me, it's good just because there's like this health benefit that I'm getting out of it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes much sense, but
No, it does.
It is a
I
tool.
definitely though feel like I've had runs where I get done, I'm like, that freaking sucked. Like,
but you're not like, you don't regret it, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
you
no, it
went
hurt,
outside to
or-
do something active.
Yeah.
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 That's fair.
Because there's so many other things that I could be doing and spending my time and money and effort on, right? And it's like, if out of like I don't drink, I don't go out to the bars really, and so like this is what I do. This is what I spend my time, my money on, and like all things considered, like it's pretty good for me. Like
Yeah.
running's good for your body.
Yeah.
good for
you
your
ain't
health.
You ain't smoking a pack, so.
Yeah.
So you have like a health related anxiety.
Yeah.
Right. So
Hypochondria.
how do you keep
Pretty much.
keep running? Can you talk about your?
Yeah, for sure. Without not taking like a 3-hour saga, mine I feel like stems from this heart condition thing I had, pericarditis, where I went to the emergency room. I thought I was having a heart attack. I wasn't. It was just like an infection basically of the heart lining that caused me to not breathe. So I thought I was having a heart attack, and then when you have kids, you start thinking about kind of like David Roche. I'm like, oh, like, is that it? Like, I might not, get out of this emergency room. Then I was fine for a while, but then I started to have like health related anxieties. Like every little thing I felt, it became, is it a heart issue, or is it, it just like illogically goes to the worst place possible. I have a slight pain in my chest, so there's a tumor, or I have a headache, I've got brain cancer. Like, it's just like the worst of the worst, and nothing I could do would,
So
every
how
day
you
it would
run,
change.
Though? Like, wouldn't you be afraid to run?
No, running, because it was the one thing that I could do that I felt like I was in control of my health. And so I was only doing something beneficial to my health. And so I would say it could have potentially become unhealthy in my dependency to get out to run, because I wanted to do it all the time nonstop, because it made me feel the healthiest of what I could control. Gotcha. Whereas just sitting on the couch, my head hurts, and like I'm in my head, and like,
So running related pains and stuff don't trigger your anxiety.
Sometimes they do now. I mean, there's like, so basically I got on medication, which helped greatly. It basically curbs that dark thought.
Yeah, it doesn't let you snowball into it as much.
Like I can have those thoughts, but they just kind of
Come and go.
enter and exit my brain really quickly. So
Yeah.
it's really helpful. But occasionally, like I think I wrote about it on my blog that when I was running my 50K, like I had illogical thoughts of rhabdo
Yeah.
and just like
I have those thoughts.
just
'Cause
like
you guys read too much.
yeah, and
What-
like
yeah.
that's why there's been, it depends. Like I can't watch certain people's health related stories about like when something went wrong because I'll take it too close to home and like
Yeah.
start to overthink it. But yeah, I mean, usually with like the little niggles and stuff here and there, like if my foot hurts or something, that doesn't usually get to me
Yeah.
on a run. It's more of like, again, it's always the worst of the worst. It's the rhabdo. It's like I'm gonna go on this 50K, not pee once, and then I'm gonna get home and my pee's gonna be black, and then I'm gonna just be like, hey man, can you drive me to the emergency room because I'm dying?
Yeah.
That's like where my brain goes. And yeah, I would say it used to be debilitating, but it's not
Yeah.
anymore.
Like, you know, we're laughing now like at those thoughts, but like when you have those thoughts, because I also like I resonate with what you're saying. I would say I have similar thoughts, especially with like hypochondria, health related. I go into Google, it's the worst thing ever.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had leukemia. I've had like colon cancer, brain.
I stopped myself from doing that now. But even when I've like explained this to, let's say, doctors, and like it sounds almost like humorous and irrational, but in the moment, like those thoughts are very real and they're like really scary, right? Like
You can't do anything. Like I
Yeah.
literally will just sit there in my own thoughts and be like, I'm useless.
Yeah.
Like I just can't do anything because I'm thinking about this.
yeah, and it affects your day to day. Like it affects your mood. It affects like.
Yeah.
So I resonate with what you're saying. Yeah, I think I've just gotten maybe a little bit better with time because like I will go through those times where I'm like, oh, I have X, Y, and Z. I go on Google and then I end up not having it. And I think over time I've just been like, okay, chances are I probably
it's like
don't have it.
building resilience
Exactly.
to it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's why like finishing the 50K and I'm like, oh, it's all good. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I could do more.
yeah,
But you like I had to get through it.
Yeah. You guys see what your body's capable of.
Exactly.
Not what happened
And that's
to
why
somebody
I
else.
feel like sometimes I'm the opposite of you where like I will push way less because I'm afraid of pushing too hard. And so like I think if anything I could maybe push more than like what I do, but it's fear driven.
But that's all a learning. Like pacing is a learning curve.
I
That
still haven't
just
learned it yet.
yeah.
Honestly,
it just comes
yeah.
from experience in doing it because
Yeah.
it's pacing's tricky because you
Yeah.
don't know what you're capable of,
Right.
and like especially a new distance.
Yeah.
You don't know like
And you've,
how
like,
long can my body.
I feel
do
good
this?
right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out
Which
hard.
I think again kind of comes back. I really am starting to agree with your pacers, like whatever.
Let them be.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like in something where you're so new to the distance, like I just would want support in people,
Yeah.
especially with the anxiety. Like I want someone running next
Oh,
to me
because you
that's
go
like,
in your head deep, especially 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You're in your head.
like honestly,
I know, I
I'm
feel like they're not
so-
even pacers is like not the right term, like not the right label. It should be like
buddy.
Crutch.
friend.
Yeah.
my
like-
crutch.
Yeah, exactly. Like because like they're probably not helping you keep up the pace as much as
No,
like
because they're just going your pace.
exactly.
And like,
And
and
they'll-
sometimes you will go hours without saying a word to your pacer, but just knowing
Yeah.
someone's in the woods with you
Yeah.
is you just feel better.
Yeah.
You know?
friend.
So jealous. Like Sarah is just the coolest. I'm
Yeah.
so
I know,
jealous
I
that
know.
like you get to just run with her.
I got to tire her out at Devil's Gulch this weekend, though, first.
Yeah.
That's
50
something that I
miler.
will know that when I'm suffering this weekend, I'll be like, oh, Sarah
Sarah's
and Taryn are out there. You're doing photos, right?
Yeah.
And Sarah's running, and like they're suffering with me.
I would be your pacer if I could.
There's no pacers allowed, unfortunately, at this race.
Well, it's fine. We could get DQ'd. But
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah. There's no pacers allowed.
You can have crew but not pacers?
Yeah,
Oh.
I read even like I was texting you yesterday. Like the crew are like hiking crew.
No, that's one aid station. I looked at the whole chart. There's a whole chart you can reference.
you can't do crew. I know that. I know you can't do crew. It's on the website.
No
but
pacers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or sorry, no pacers.
Yeah.
You can have crew. No pacers.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah,
your
yeah,
crew
yeah.
can see you like 4 times.
Yeah, they do have like a bunch of drop bag locations, so I'll be good. But
Yeah.
anyways, should we talk about the
Yeah.
Tailwind High Carb?
Yeah. Any last words on
No,
our
we've
mental
been
health.
wording a lot.
Yeah, we have. I'm watching the timer go up. But yeah, I think we could segue into what we wanted to talk about with nutrition because wouldn't you say it goes hand in hand in terms of like
Yeah.
how what you put into your body like absolutely helps with your mentality on the day, getting in the carbs and sodium that you've lost to like
It's just carbs and sugars.
It's its own
Sugar, salt.
mental game as well, honestly, when you're out there and having to convince yourself to eat when you don't want to eat.
Well, you'll feel
or
the
vice
difference
versa.
if like you've gone a while and then you finally get something down and all of a sudden you have a second win. It's like, oh, guess what?
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
Yeah.
You got some calories in you.
We were running 19-minute pace. Now we're running 16-minute pace.
Yeah.
I just like the popularity carbs are getting again because it's so like old school. It's all it ever was.
Yeah.
But now everybody's like, oh, carbs are good.
Carbs are back.
Carbs are
Sodium
good.
is back.
Yeah, so
high carb.
for maybe people who are not following what's going on, I guess like the trendiness in running as much as we all are, high carb is like very much a thing right now. I would say like a lot of athletes are pushing high carb
And,
for that
like,
extra percent. Yeah,
And all the brands are, I feel like everyone's coming out with a high carb drink mix or whatnot these days.
I'd say like you know this better than I would, but I would say like 50 to 60 grams of carbs back like a couple of years ago was considered like the norm, but now it's like you're seeing people trying to push it to like over 100.
I think the
per hour.
calculating wasn't happening
Yeah.
like it is now.
Oh,
I think
it's a
it's like
science.
just keep eating and drinking. Like,
Yeah.
that was always just like just
yeah.
consume.
Now it's like 90 to 120 grams.
They're like
per
so
hour.
they're so calculated, and like you're seeing all these like case studies coming out after Western states, like this is what Caleb had per hour, this is what Chris had, here's the sodium intake, here's the carbs.
People need to remember though that it is very individualized.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Like what your body can process, the exertion you're giving
What
on
you
any given
lose,
day.
Yeah.
Like
what-
I
how
will
much you-
lose
yeah.
way more probably salt content, I think,
Yeah.
than you probably do. Like I can just feel the granules of sweat.
I thought I was, but
yeah,
I guess I was more of I did a test through Precision, like
Yeah.
a salt test, and I was moderately sweaty, but
Yeah.
I do sweat a lot, which is different than your salt concentrate.
Yeah.
But yeah, like to your point, like it is very individual. Riley Brady was one of the favorites this year coming in, and I think prior to Western States, Riley's been having a really good year. She won Javelina. They won Javelina. They won Quad Rock recently. And for them, their breakthrough was they were trying to push high carb, and they were just blowing up and barfing everywhere. And so they realized that they were like a low carb, low salt.
Well, your body's still got to be able to process it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
and
don't know.
intaking it.
So it's not for everyone.
hard.
Disclaimer, not for everyone.
or
Yeah.
or the frequency, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Individual.
It's,
But
I mean, the latest one we can't keep on the shelf is this Tailwind. So
Yeah.
that's why we're
yeah, so
we're
if
holding
you-
Tailwind.
Yeah, for those listening, we've got Tailwind High Carb Fuel drink mix in front of us. We have the lemonade flavor and the ginger lime flavor, which I think are the only two flavors they make
Yeah.
of
I
it
think
right
so.
now.
It's pretty new.
It's
like
hard
for,
to
very
keep
new.
it
for
in
Tailwind.
stock.
Yeah.
I know every time I come in, I'm like, there's another empty box.
I will say I haven't gone near this stuff in probably over 10 years, and this is the first one I can taste or drink and
Yeah.
not gag.
Where'd you try it? Was it on the Tianwei?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you do lemonade or
Only
ginger
lemonade,
lime?
yeah. Let's not have too many flavors.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Lemonade.
The lemonade
But
is
it's
great.
really good. It's actually really, and when it got warm, it was still totally drinkable.
Yes.
Like,
So we've all tried it and
Yeah.
used it.
And I would say, like, personally, if you were to put this, I don't, maybe my palate's not that, like, sophisticated.
Would you
but,
like to do a lemonade test?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to tell
What
you the
notes
difference.
are
Like,
in
if you
this?
gave this
Oh.
to me in, like, a cold, glass with maybe ice, like, I'd be like, that's lemonade. I would not know
it's
it's, like, a
pretty
feeling.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yep.
but I mean,
It's-
that's the only reason why I got through that run that day, just because it was because it's the calories and the carbs
Yeah.
and,
So
Yep.
just real quick, just make sure folks know, this is one of these packets is a serving and 90 grams of carbs, 680 milligrams of sodium. So that's pretty good. Like,
Yep.
you could fuel off this by itself.
How many ounces are in this? It's a 3.2 ounce package.
You can mix it with 16 to like 20, 24 ounces
Yeah.
of water.
Yeah. So the instructions are to mix the pouch with 16 to 24 ounces to taste. So if you want a little bit more lemonade flavor,
Yeah.
go more towards the 16 ounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you want a little more watery, 24. Like in terms of that mixing, what would you say you've done? Like
Full
in your
pouch
flasks?
in a
17.
600 milliliter bottle, I think, or a 500 milliliter bottle. So on the sweeter side, no issues. I think at least no gut GI issues with this. My favorite thing about the Tailwind compared to the other products that I've been using is like it just mixes so well.
Yeah.
I have
does.
other products that like clump up, and I have to put them in like one of those like shaker bottles first, maybe with hot water to get it all to dissolve.
Jeez.
And yeah, because otherwise I'm getting chunks
That's
in
just
my flask.
Too much of a process.
Yeah, so this like mixes so well. Never had a problem.
Yeah.
Really quick before I go to you, I just wanted to like call out the comparison to the normal Tailwind. So it's roughly the same sodium. 630 on the, I would say, what would you call this? Like the regular Tailwinds,
Yeah, the endurance fuel.
at least the lemon. Yeah, the endurance fuel.
non-high carb.
This is 50 grams of carbs, where that's 90. So just a little bit
So
of a
you
bump
get
up.
40 grams more in
Mhm.
this, basically.
Yeah. How about you, Ryan? Where have you tried this, and how have you?
Yeah, I used one last weekend on my long run, 14 miles. Not crazy trail or anything.
Mhm.
It was a lot of gravel. There's like one tiny bit more technical rocky section. I don't know. I think I did 1,200 feet of gain or something. And
Is that all
I
you
brought
fueled
this.
with? It was just that? Or,
Yeah,
you know?
I did bring one gel. I like my fueling strategy is usually like a bottle of high carb fuel, one bottle of water plain, and then one gel.
Yeah.
That's usually what I target per
Yeah.
hour. But I've used it before too on other long runs. I think I used this when I did like 26 miles, and I've also never had problems. I've never had GI issues with it, which I'm sensitive
Me
when it
too.
comes to.
I love to barf. Not
Yeah.
really. Just
Nah.
everything makes me nauseous. But this
Yeah.
was like, this stayed down. So that was
Do you
good.
think you'll bring some of these with you
Yeah.
on Cascade?
Yeah. And
Nice.
I'll probably hate them by the end of it.
Yeah, that's how
I think that by the end of any, I've only done one ultra, but any long run or ultra, I hate whatever I'm drinking.
You
by
gotta
the
just
end
mix
of
it up.
Yep.
Like I'll bring juice
Yes.
boxes and.
That's what I
Coke
was,
and-
I think,
yeah.
telling Nick is what I learned is I just need more variety. And
Yeah.
I ordered everything. Like I had one flavor of drink mix the whole time and 2 different flavors of gels, but one was like unflavored.
Yeah.
And by the end, I was like, I'm so over this stuff. Like I need something else
You gotta
of
have real
flavor.
food.
Oh, I'm a big proponent now
Yeah.
of real food.
You
Give-
just like literally just eat and drink. Like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You know, like it just doesn't matter. You have to just keep fueling your body because it's doing something really hard
Yeah.
and it needs something to run off. of.
Yes.
I will say I get why Courtney brings toothbrushes to all of her aid stations,
Yeah.
because when you're having gels and this stuff all day,
Sugar, salt, just
yeah, you can like feel it on
eats
your
at
teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Leaves that like grime on your teeth. Question for you with your 100K.
Yeah,
How many pocket quesadillas do you think you'll do?
0. That's not my food of choice.
I'm a huge proponent of the pocket quesadilla. Maybe I actually have a
Greasy
video.
cheese is
I
not
have,
my.
I have a video from my Echo Valley 50K that maybe I'll send you and you can
Yeah,
play right
we'll
now.
Put it in there.
It's just me running with quesadillas in my pocket.
Oh my god.
I will say I've been doing some long runs with practicing like real. Cause I've always just fueled off this kind of stuff, but I did bring some like sandwich slices with me last long run, some turkey little sliders, sandwich sliders, some like rice balls that I made, and yeah, I actually like noticed like I felt decent after eating that. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I feel alive. Like I feel like a human again. I'm not like a shell of a human. I felt, because I would say like normally I don't. Nutrition, like I can't say after taking a gel I feel so much better. I'm like, oh, I needed that. Like I never.
It feels like it's like a checklist item to me.
A little bit, but I feel like this past weekend when I was eating like real food, it did make me feel
Yeah.
noticeably better. Where I was like,
I've always
oh,
felt
okay,
brought back to life from real food.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
just more like sugar.
yeah. So I will be
But-
embracing the aid station food for sure.
Yeah, but I think like I don't know, for me like this Tailwind High Carb Fuel, it's a really good base. Like when I
Yeah.
say base, I mean this is what I start with, and then like I supplement with real food at the aid stations based off of how I'm feeling and what I can intake, because I'll get there and be like, I just want bread and
Yeah.
like something to like soak up all this sugar and sodium in my stomach.
Yeah.
But for me, like I love this Tailwind to just start with, and like I know everyone's different in terms of like how you calculate what you should do and like the math around it, but for me, like this is just what I strive for, and I know that I'm not going to meet my goal ever. I never have once, but I like doing it with this Tailwind stuff. It's really good and just so tasty.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably only use that as an electrolyte.
Yeah, there's-
for the
there's-
whole 100, just because I mean it's got everything else in it. So.
Oh, really?
And
Just the.
like everyone, I mean, it's still.
Will
got
you
the
try
salt.
the other flavor, which
Absolutely
is
not.
ginger lime?
No,
No.
stick to what you know.
I don't.
Have you tried
new
the? Have you tried the other one?
No, I have one, but I have not opened it up.
It's
yet.
good. I think I personally
For-
prefer the lemonade, but
I think I would too. Just
Well, ginger's
simple
supposed to be
flavor.
good for your gut.
yeah.
yeah, lots of health benefits.
So yeah, I recommend it. If,
That's
for those
Tailwind.
that like Tailwind, those that like a drink that tastes like lemonade.
Come on into the shop. She can barely keep them on the shelf.
Better
Yeah.
get it
But
now. I got more on the way.
there's
but
a couple
better get it now.
boxes, so pick up your Tailwind for your next race.
Cool. Okay. Well, I feel like we went a little long today, but
That's
been
all right.
we haven't talked in a while. Yeah. Next time we meet, Taryn will be. Wait, it will be the week of Cascade. I'll be
Sir,
in crutches.
we will carry you through the door to
Yeah.
your seat.
Yeah.
Aw.
That'll be good.
But I'm super excited to see how it goes and debrief on it for
I
you, because that's
know.
just like, dude, you're
It's so
literally gonna have run
exciting.
double my highest run ever.
Me too.
And you haven't- oh, you haven't done a 50 miler. Oh, dang.
Skip the 50, going straight to
Yeah.
the 100K.
I maybe had watched a couple of YouTube videos prior to signing up for this race.
You're basically like high off running content.
Yeah, it might have been like
Yes.
post UTMB or something. It was just like,
gosh.
I'm in. But no, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be good. I'm trained. I feel my coach is saying I'm ready. I feel ready.
You are ready.
Just
yeah.
run Nick's
Stay out of your
race.
head.
Yep.
That's my
Stay out
only
of your head.
advice.
I know we said this last time, but I think we're getting closer with interviews.
Yes.
I think we're just going to try to finalize
Really
some
cool
dates.
people.
Yeah. I mean, I
Maybe.
don't
I
know.
don't
What
know,
you this month sucks. I'm struggling.
Honestly, you're not the only one.
No.
Yeah.
We're trying. Yeah.
It's
don't
been a
know.
busy month.
Well, we're going to be reviewing Topo Vista.
yeah,
Which
I
we started
just
running
put
in.
a couple miles in yesterday in that shoe, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to talk about it, and
Cool.
some other shoes I think that we've got on the docket coming up
Yeah.
to put through.
So
Some good shoes coming out.
we got stuff.
I'm excited.
Sweet.
We got stuff.
Cool. As always, remember to subscribe
Like
to
and
YouTube,
subscribe.
like, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple.
Leave a just raving review, 5 stars.
Like, let's just encourage Nick.
Nick,
Wait,
he's
you'll
just-
already have run it.
Yeah. You can keep encouraging me.
Yeah,
I
you can keep
appreciate it.
encouraging.
Yeah. Be like, man, I don't even know how it went for you, and you're just amazing, dude.
Aw.
Well, you will find out. But yeah, I got nothing.
I know. We're going to work on this getting out thing.
No, I
but-
want to forever keep it as the most awkward, like where we just talk about.
Oh, yeah, let us know
How
what
to
you want to
end
listen
these.
to. Or
Yeah.
let us
Let
know
us
how to wrap
please,
these things
next
up.
person, the next comment we get needs to be a script for how we wrap up each episode.
Yeah.
It's like, bye.
And goodbye. Love ya.
See you next
Aw.
time.
Bye.
Love you guys.
See ya.